Welcome to another episode of The Dissection. DJ Warras, Warras Stock, has died at the age of 40. He was shot dead in the Johannesburg CBD today. And to say that this is shocking news is truly an understatement. It's believed that he was inspecting a hijacked building which was guarded by his security company, his private security company, at the time of the killing. The attack could be related to disputes over this building, but right now, the motives are unclear. Police have said that they've obtained video footage of the suspects and investigations are ongoing. This is what the police had to say earlier today.
When he left the building, about to go to his vehicle, on his arrival outside, there was a guy wearing a dreadlocks. He shot, took out the firearm, shot at him. He tried to escape until he fell here where we are standing, and he had his firearm with him. Unfortunately, the people didn't take anything, but from the video footages which we viewed all over the place here, it came clear that there were about 3 people who were involved in the whole thing. But the one who shot him was having dreadlocks on the head, and the one who was with him after he shot, it's somebody wearing something that replicates security uniform. Police are investigating. We managed to get the video footage. The teams, our intelligence, our provincial detectives tracking team are busy tracking and following up where the people might have escaped to or might have been seated.
DJ Warras has been a prominent voice in social media and podcast media. One thing about him is that he was an authentic voice. Whatever he said, whatever he believed, he said it with authenticity. He shared his views on politics, on culture, on a variety of platforms. And that's something that I think many people will continue to appreciate him for. His passion, his authenticity, his genuineness. He's spoken about a variety of topics for a long period of time. Yesterday, he was talking about the behavior of Shamila Batoy, for example. He's been very vocal on issues about crime, cartels, corruption. He's spoken in favor of a merit-based system of governance. He's been involved in a variety of debates. And in so doing, he's really been part of the fabric of South African discourse. And many people genuinely loved and appreciated him. In my view, he was more than a DJ, more than a podcaster. He was the voice of the streets and the voice of a generation, expressing frustrations in a way only he could. He was adding an important element to social conversations in South Africa. As I said, many people loved him for that. They resonated with his honesty, his passion. He was truly a humble guy. You know, once in a while, he would drop me a message via DM, and often he would engage with my social media posts. The only thing I can tell you about him is that when I received threats, he was one of the people who approached me and offered me advice and offered me input on how to deal with them. That's something that I can share with you, but I never had the opportunity to meet him. I never had an opportunity to share a stage with him. But I've seen that everybody that he shared a stage with, everybody that he shared a microphone with, loved him, appreciated him, and I'm sure they are devastated by this news. DJ Warras was the co-host of the Shady podcast with PH on the Real Network. He worked in mainstream media, as I said, for a long time. And he was a DJ on Live Amp, a popular Friday show. And he did that show, I think, from 2012 to 2018. He was a former Gagasi SM presenter. So in this career of podcasts, of DJing, of being a presenter, he has met a lot of people. And when you see how they reflect on his life, how they reflect on how he touched them, they all give a reflection of a man who was loving, who was caring, who was compassionate. And I think that's an upright legacy to live. I think that's an upright legacy. You know, he had 3 children, and everybody says that he was a caring father. Everybody says that he's somebody who truly gave his all in everything that he did. Now, his voice against organized crime cartels is something that I think coming at this time cannot be ignored. Witness D just got killed. Witness D just got killed almost 2 weeks ago now. And now DJ Warras has been shot dead on the streets in broad daylight. He's been recently speaking up more and more about organized crime, about its impact, and because he's working in the security industry, he may really have heard firsthand knowledge of everything that is happening. This is the second death in the month of December. It could be linked to these issues associated with the General Mkhwanazi revelations about cartels. I don't know what he knew about the cartel conduct from his own side as somebody who was working in the security industry. It's clearly a very dangerous industry to be in right now. And it's an industry that seems to be populated by people who are also involved in organized crime behavior. It's I think an industry that needs to be cleaned up, because when people who are trying to do good work, honest work, become victims of criminals, because these are criminals, these murderers are criminals, I think it just shows the scale at which there needs to be a full audit of the security industry. And I think everybody in it. So as I said, this is the second death in the month of December. And I think it's quite chilling that a podcaster, somebody who's on a microphone like this, right? He did many other things, but him being on a microphone just like this just shows how dangerous it is right now to be on microphones like this, speaking about the issues of crime, organized crime in South Africa. It's quite chilling. It's quite chilling. This incident today is a reminder that cartels are basically continuing with their business model of using violence to silence. So many DJs and entertainers have been killed in recent years. In these type of hits with this same modus operandi, where gunmen shoot and they flee the scene. DJ Somebody, DJ Vintos, and now DJ Warras, also Count the Rapper aka, was gunned down in the same fashion outside of a restaurant in KZN. It's quite chilling to know that these things are happening. Hopefully, the police can apprehend the people responsible for this heinous action. But not only the shooters who went into the CBD and carried out this action, but everybody involved, the people who tipped them off, the people who ordered this particular hit. They need to look into the owners of the business. They need to look into rival security companies, owners of the building, the previous owners of the buildings, the ones who had hijacked that building. They truly need to look at everything. And I think the public will really be watching to see, if they can bring these people to book in record time, because this is truly egregious, happening in this year at this time, just after the killing of Witness D. It highlights the necessity, I think, for a political killings task team to be expanded. I think it also highlights that this task team actually perhaps need to be called a targeted killings task team, because these assassinations are happening across the board and they are part of organized crime. This was a coordinated hit. These people who are in organized crime are involved in a variety of enterprises. I wouldn't be surprised if they are also involved in the hijacked buildings. They've infiltrated everything, and they're using the same tools of violence to silence that they've been using across the board. This is partly the reason why people resonated with General Mkhwanazi in July, because everyone finally thought somebody is going to do something about violent crime. Somebody's going to do something about these cartels who have been operating with impunity everywhere, in townships, in the CBDs, in the nightclubs. They've just been operating with impunity. And today, they've done it again. They've done it again. I'm so sorry to everybody who knew DJ Warras, everybody who worked with DJ Warras, his friends, his family, his fans. I'm truly sorry that this happened. I pray that God may be with you all and that there may be justice. This is just devastating news. It's an update that I thought I can't not make because this is current affairs. This is the news story. But it's so difficult to make because this guy really touched so many people's lives. He really touched so many people's lives.